In this video, I'm going to show you how to make your payload persistent. Persistent payloads, or backdoors, are essential tools for hackers to maintain access to a system until they're detected, which could be too late. By then, they may have already stolen credentials, login information, website cookies, and more. One method for achieving persistence is using a tool called the Non-Sucking Service Manager, or NSSM. NSSM is a legitimate and widely used open-source tool for managing Windows services. It's a service helper program that assists in installing an application as a service and monitoring its state. You can also download it from GitHub. The first thing we need to do is establish a reverse shell connection. Let's set up a Netcat listener on this port. Here, I have a payload configured to trigger a command that uses Netcat to establish a reverse shell based on my setup. If Netcat were deleted from my desktop, this payload wouldn't work. But don't worry, I'll show you how to establish a reverse connection and achieve persistence with a single undetectable payload in the future. For now, let's keep it simple. Once connected, open Command Prompt as an administrator. Navigate to the NSSM directory, which is on my desktop in this example. Type NSSM install netcat service. You can choose any name you prefer. Then, provide the path to the netcat directory. For arguments, enter the IP address, Kali IP, the listener port, execute cmd.exe. This installs a Windows service named netcat service. Next, type NSSM start netcat service. The service will be set to start automatically, so even if the victim restarts the computer, the attacker will retain a session. However, keep in mind that if the victim opens Task Manager and stops the service or terminates NSSM, the connection will be lost. In future videos, I'll cover more stealthy persistence techniques. I will terminate this and start a listener again. As you can see, I have a reverse shell without having to trigger the payload every time. This payload includes an encrypted netcat along with NSSM, making it completely undetectable. So what happens when we run this ncextractor.exe? It extracts netcat.exe and nssm.exe to the temp directory, then executes the reverse shell and persistence commands. The advantage is that it requests elevated privileges, opening a shell with system-level access. It's recommended to compile netcat from source to customize its code, making it harder for security software like Windows Defender to detect. Now, I'll start Metasploit with the same configurations and run it. Next, I'll upgrade this session to use MeterPreter, as demonstrated in previous videos. At this point, I should have a MeterPreter session. Type sessions-L and use sessions 2. We now have system privileges. For the undetectable backdoor, I'll make another video soon on how to code it and compile it easily using ChatGPT. So make sure to subscribe and follow me. Always install Elevated.